Habibi Fahodiye, Black Family, Race First. Welcome back to another Urban Philosophy, School of Urban Philosophy session. We are in session. On this January 2nd, 2025. Habibi Fahodiye, Race First. And yes, Habari Ghani, because it's Habari Ghani for us all year long. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm always anxious when I come before the Black family just to share my perspectives, my analysis, my elaborations, information, in hopes that I can get into a dialogue with my people, to get more people involved, to discuss the things that matters to them, because we have to do that. We have to do that. So first things first. Oftentimes I don't mention it, but most definitely share the video, like the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. Let's build this channel, Black man and Black woman. Let's get this content out there. Because I'm of the mindset that those who consistently complain stand still. Let me say that again. Those who consistently complains stands still. So my mindset is that if you make an observation about something, then you should be adding towards the solution. We can't just keep making these observations about what we are not doing as a people, what's wrong with us as a people, and we're not adding to the solution. And I'm oftentimes striving to add to the solution. The solution. This is a solution. This channel is a solution. You as a subscriber to this channel have an obligation to the channel. Like, we are a community. And that's what I want to build here at the School of Urban Philosophy. I want us to do this together. It's a new cycle. January 1, 1804. The Haitian Revolution under Jean-Jacques Dessalines, bringing into the existence, the empire, the Black Empire. Like, we stand on the shoulders of so many great people. We can do this thing, Black man and Black woman. We can do this because we've done it before. We can do it. But let's pull together. Harambe. Let's pull together. Let's not complain about the poor content that's out there, because there are some great content out there. Let's get that content out. Let's share that content. Let's talk about that content. Let's bring more folk involved into the process. That's what this is all about. That's what time it is, Black man and Black woman. So let's get it on. Let's do what needs to be done. So let's see who's here. Oh, hey there, Janaki. Beautiful sister there, beautiful sister. Peace and blessings. Habibi Fahodiye, Race First, and all those other wonderful things. Hotel. Say, wait, Habibi Fahodiye, my brother. Habibi Fahodiye. Sakati. Race First. No doubt, all day, every day. Share the content, y'all. Let's share the video, like the video, subscribe. Let's do those wonderful things. So let's dig into something. So about 10 years ago or longer, I made a prediction. And I want to share that prediction with you tonight. Around the year 2012, 2011, 2012, 2013, I would oftentimes say the year 2025 is going to be a great year. I stand on that to this day. I believe the year 2025 is going to open up some wonderful things for Black people. It's not going to be leaps and bounds, because oftentimes we look for leaps and bounds. So I'm not predicting leaps and bounds. I'm not predicting, this massive thing that's going to happen. But there's going to be a whole lot of incremental progress that's happening for Black people in terms of opening up, in terms of our consciousness. Like, we are going to begin to wake up. And we're going to see that over the next 365, 366 days, whatever you want to say. We're going to see that if we're paying attention, if we can get ourselves from out of always looking for what we are not doing right. We've been conditioned We've been trained, we've been beat to just look for what we don't do right. Go find what black people don't do right and talk about it. Go find what they are doing wrong and talk about it. Go tell black people they are incapable. Go tell black people they are bad. Go tell black people they are poor. Tell black people they can't do anything. I don't believe in that, and that has never been my message, because I was told that in 1984, 84, 83, I was told that. I was told that I was incapable. I was told that I had a learning disability, that I was incapable of learning. But I didn't believe that. It didn't take root in me. So that's not my message, to keep saying what we can't do. I am very clear about the problems and the issues that we have as a people. We should have issues and problems as a people, because we've been hunted and pursued, for a very long time by another group of people. So yeah, we should have some issues, no doubt. We've been what? We've been beat, bamboozled, hoodwinked, miseducated. We've been intoxicated. We've been pacified. We've been incarcerated. We've been assassinated. We've been exterminated. We've been everything under the sun by another group of people. So yes, we should have some problems. But in the midst of all those problems, one thing I do know is I know that we are the greatest. I know that we are the greatest. I know that we are the greatest, and I know that we are the superior being that's standing in the world. There is nothing like us that's standing today in this world. And because I know that, I would never subscribe to a narrative that says what we can't do. We've done it before, therefore we'll do it again. And I'm okay with I'm okay with, it's not happening fast enough. I'm not running a race, man. I'm not in a competition with anybody. That's not what this is about. This is about doing sustainable work, transforming lives. That's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? He who says that he is aware, his awareness can only be measured to the degree that awareness impacts the lives of other people positively. Because I don't want to know what you know by way of what you can tell me. I want to know what you know by way of who you have transformed. I want to see, is your knowledge, what I'm saying? What is the efficacy of what you say you know? And I can only measure that to the degree that you've transformed the lives of other people. That's the work that we need to do. That work there. Transformative work. Why does I say that? Because that's the work that I do. And you don't have to take my word for it. All you got to do is look into my history, and you'll find out if Baba Imhotep have transformed the lives of other people, other human beings. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So don't let nobody tell you what we can't do, black man and black woman, and you shouldn't even listen to that. You shouldn't even get out any energy in your body. You shouldn't even want to hear it. You shouldn't want to read it. Give it no. You should not give it access to your being. We got to sound that out over these next 12 months. Sound it out. Let's see. What's this right here? Correctional officer for lockdown. Who created, established, and promoted the Boule concept? Oh, man. The Boule concept. Interesting question. So I guess I'll answer it this way. I don't know who established it. I don't know who created it. I don't even know who promoted it. In the sense I believe that you're asking the question. I do know that, you had Baba Steve Coakley, talked about the Boule a whole lot. He's one of the ones who I know that talked about it a whole lot. But in terms of that whole idea of these people, me personally, I tend not to even focus on it like that. I don't give no energy to it. My principal concern is, how can I be of benefit to pushing and moving Black people forward, right? I understand that there is forces and elements outside the Black community that's against us, and I know that there are forces and elements within the Black community that's against us. I'm clear about that. And I know that the forces and the elements that are within our community that works against us, they are in collusion with those forces outside the community. That much as I'm clear of. And I'm also clear about the fact that anytime there's some type of war that's being waged, there are always going to be those who are going to trade. They're going to work against you. You're always going to have that. You're always going to have a weak element amongst you. It's just going to be that way because all of us not cut from the same cloth. And all of us don't have the fortitude. We don't have the tenacity, the courage, you know what I'm saying, to stand our grounds and stand on what's right and go up against wrong. A lot of us are afraid to challenge wrong. A lot of us are afraid to speak against falsehood. A lot of us are afraid, you know what I'm saying, to stare evil in his face and say, that's evil. It's only select people that's going to do that. That's going to say, that's evil, that you are a liar. Right? Everybody's not going to do that. So some of us, because we're weak, we're going to give in. So I don't focus on the weak. I don't focus on the weak. My interest and principal concern are for those who want to be free. And because with the awareness of wanting to be free, there has to be a corresponding awareness of the level and the degree of the work that is necessary to get free. Freedom will not fall from the sky, and freedom will not be handed to anyone. To get free, you must do some things. You must work. You must strategize. You must develop tactics and goals. You must come up with discipline. You must train and prepare. You must develop vision. That's how you get free. And you must be prepared to remove any and all things that's willing to stand in your way of freedom. And if you have not made such a resolve within yourself, you don't get free. You just don't get free. You know? So that's why I'm at with this thing right here. We got to get this work done. What my brother said, let's see. But the correctional officer for lockdown, salute you platform, brother. You have a positive platform. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm striving to build this positive platform to impact the lives of Black people. I appreciate that observation from you. Angie C. A Malcolm X mindset is needed. You can't take outsiders' money, and that is what many of our people will do. Yes, they will, no doubt. She also said, so many Black inviting all these non-Blacks to the cookout, and they get comfortable. Yes, you're correct. We do. We want to bring them in, right? We don't know any better. A lot of us don't know any better. So we're going to do things like that. But those of us who know better, that's who band together. See, I'm of the mindset that, for every negative person that's standing, if two positive people band together, you can cancel that negative person out. So I believe that those of us who profess to know better, then we should seek each other out and we should band together. Because those of us who say we know better, if we band together, then those that's doing wrong, we're going to cancel them out. They don't become a part of our even awareness, right? They don't even become a part of our conversation because we should be focused so much on locking arms and banding with those who want what we want. But it's like, if I say I want to get free, and then you say you want to get free, and he say he want to get free, then why are we worrying about the one over there that say he don't want to get free? You see what I'm saying? All we got to do is say, man, look, man, he ain't down, man, so keep your eye on him, but we got to do this over here. We don't got to keep giving a whole bunch of interest to the individual who don't want to get free. We got to keep talking about the one who don't want to get free. We've acknowledged that he don't want to get free, so he don't have to be a part of our conversations no more. All we got to do is keep an eye on him because we know that he don't want what we want. That's what this is about. That's where we at, So I only align with productive Black people. I am not Messiah. I heard that, Angie. See, I hear you. I feel you. I love it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. No doubt. Self-defense is mental as well as physical. Martial science must be studied. Martial science. I heard that. We talking now tonight, Black man and Black woman. We getting it in. That's what it's all about. You know, what is the correlation between spirituality and sovereignty? What is the correlation between spirituality and sovereignty? Oh man, that's a powerful question. I want to know if anybody in the chat has anything to say to that question there. What is the correlation between spirituality and sovereignty? And by sovereignty, I'm going to assume that we mean African sovereignty. I will make that assumption. So let me do this. Let me give it a shot. What is the correlation? The correlation between spirituality and sovereignty is that sovereignty is, in fact, sister say it depends on who and what you believe in. Well, for one thing, like on this platform, everybody here should know that we only talk about African people. That's got to be a given, right? That way we can get more out of our conversations. We know that we're not speaking in a general sense. We're not speaking in the all-inclusive sense. We talk about African people on this platform right here. So we talk about African people, African belief systems, African thoughts, African behavior, right? You know, those things that we had intact before those invaders came in. That way we want to kill the general, so we can be real clear, so we can get more work done. Because oftentimes as a people, we can speak so general about everything and open it so wide that we spend too much time trying to narrow things down. So it's very important to know that when you enter a particular platform or building or school of thought, to know exactly what that school of thought ideology is. So here at the School of Urban Philosophy, the ideology is scientific Pan-Africanism, which is 100% about African sovereignty, African people, African unity, African uplift, African advancement, race first, Abibi Fahodie. That's it. That's all we're dealing with here. You know what I'm saying? So anything that I say is for Black people, for the good of Black people, and any ideas and concepts that I introduce here are ideas and concepts that derives from an African asili, meaning it derives from an authentic Black space in Africa before those white people ran through there and those Arabs and all those other foreigners that's been running through Africa for the last, 2,000 years, raping and robbing and plundering. We want to deal with things before that, you know. But I appreciate the thoughts and the comments and all the engagement. Y'all got me going because y'all going like y'all going in that chat. Y'all got me going. I can go for 1,000 years because y'all giving me energy. And the more energy you give me, the more energy that I can give, because I take your energy and I'm plugging into those ancestors. Man, I can run for 1,000 years. This is about Black energy. Black energy. Let's get back to it, though. I want to deal with that question. Let's see what my brother, let's see what he says here. Spirituality is based on a speculative approach, whereas sovereignty is purely operative and operates on conquering, destroying, and dividing, also known as white supremacy. Okay. Interesting concept. So I'm glad you put that. I'm glad you put that out there. That's what's up. The Haitian Revolution definitely showed us the correlation and what it looks like. Yes. We here tonight. We getting it in. So let's look at it like this. When we use the word African sovereignty, we are using African sovereignty in the sense of not imperialistic and not in the sense of domination or suppression or repression. For us, African sovereignty is about real Black power, the ability to chart one's history, to chart one's own course as a people in history, and to manage and regulate one's autonomous affairs, and simultaneously possess the ability and the capabilities and the capacity to defend one's sovereign territory and one's sovereign rights. So for us, when we say African sovereignty, among many other things, I'm trying to condense it, but among many other things, real Black power, economic, political, social, cultural, and spirit power that derives from an authentic African center that's being utilized and employed in the best interest of the African race, Black people as a whole, on the continent and within the diaspora. That's what we're, are pretty much striving towards and trying to build, because therein lies, our power, and it's doable. It is doable. You know, it's not something that is not. It is very doable, and we're moving towards that. There are many Black African organizations that are on the ground within the diaspora and on the continent that's making great strides to that end that I just spoke about. Is doable. Real Black power. That's what this is about. The ability to control our affairs and make those things work in the best interest of us as a people, to educate our people, to rear our people, to clothe, house, and feed our people, you know what I'm saying, where we're not taking advantage of one another and destroying one another. You know, that's what this is all about. You know, that's what this work is about. Something we have never experienced in the hells of North America. My man, you on it, you are on it. It is definitely able to be done. Diop's two-cradle theory has shown that, yes, doctor, take on the job. There you go, you on it. So we know it can be done. So that's why I take the positions that I take, right? I take those positions because I know where we come from and I know who we are. And it's very important to know who you are. The power of being Black. There's nothing like Black. You know, there's nothing like Black in existence on any level, any type of Black that you can think about. Nothing compares to it on any level. When you truly understand and know what it means to be Black, when you really understand that, the rhythm, the dynamism, the vibrancy, the frequency, the degree, the intensity, the power, when you really know that, you know that there's nothing like it. And see, in everything that we've been up against, all of the stuff, Jim Crow, lynching, you know, you name it, redlining, mass incarceration, drug addiction, you know what I'm saying? The social service, running in your houses, breaking the houses up, everything that we've been up against have been thrown at us in one sense to keep us totally distracted from figuring out and finding out exactly who we are. Because the moment we come to that realization as to who we are, we're going to change things like this right here. Everything has been done to keep us from figuring out the power that we possess. It's simple as that. That's what this has been about. When you think about people in the world, let's take Europeans. When you think about European societies or those European territories or those European areas, right? And you start asking yourself, you know what I'm saying? When did the United Kingdom come into existence? When did France come into existence? When did Germany come into existence? You know, when did let's say Portugal come into existence or Spain come into existence? And you're going to notice that those are young. They are young states. None of them are ancient. And when you add the time up and see how long they've been around, they haven't been around for a long time. They're not ancient people. They're not ancient people. They have yet to build a system or a society that can last as long as the societies that we have built. And when you look at our societies and you start looking at the societies, you know, Tamar, Tasseti, you start looking at these Mona Natapa, you look at these societies, you begin to see like, wow, African people built societies that lasted for very long times. They ran for, you know, Sangha. Like you'll see like, man, we did it, man. You know, we really did some things, man. We did something powerful. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Kemet, Kemet is actually a desert. Northeast Africa is a desert. You know, yeah, they call it Egypt. But when you think about what happened there in the desert, the way they used the Nile to feed themselves, you know what I'm saying? That's irrigation, man. That's genius in terms of engineering, right? And that's just, and go down into the southern parts of Africa and look at what we've done. And you come to realize like, wow, man, we are something, man. We are something like nothing else exists like us. So we must be under perpetual attack. Why? So we can never just sit down and think and figure some things out. Bombard, 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 bombard. That's what got to happen to us to keep us what? Moving like this. So we can never really figure out like, yo, man, we it, man. We it. And so that's why you need such a channels to bring us to life to say, man, we are it, to remind us who we are. In the face of all of this crap, we are still Black authentic geniuses, man. That's who we are, man. Let's see what we got over here. Let's see. unapologetically, I feel we as a people, African across the diaspora, should focus on the renewal of our minds, our finances, our way of life, and what we eat. Realignment of who we are is necessary. You haven't said anything incorrect there. I do agree. Yep, we got to focus on all those things. All those things are very, very important. Yes. Race first. Obafemi, my brother, my good brother right there, my good brother, was rolling with me, been rolling with me for about 5 years now, man. Good brother, good brother. We have to systematize our approach within individuals and organizations for power. Once we realize that we are our greatest resource, not money, our reality will be transformed. Yes, yes, I agree with that as well. I agree with that as well. That is a profound statement, no doubt. Let me see what else we got here. I want to find out. I feel empowerment. I know that we are the people of the Hebrew scripture, and I know we have been distracted from the power and protection of Yahweh, our God. My belief, I am protected. Yes, you are protected. Yes, I do believe that as well. We are protected. Let's go. Let's see what else going down there. I was denied by a female white teacher in high school that would not allow me to enroll in advanced English. She insisted that I be forced to take remedial English classes instead. Oh, man. I understand, but she was all wrong. I know she was wrong, but she did. See, this is the thing, right? She was wrong. She didn't hurt you in the real sense because you're here today and you're able to voice that, right? She was wrong, but understand. We know this. I'm quite sure you do as well. She was doing what she was supposed to do from her side. You know, her side was to kill another black child if she could, destroy something inside that black child. You know what I'm saying? Cripple that black child if she could, to prevent that black child from growing up to becoming a powerful black adult. That's what that was about. She was trying to do what she was trying to do. But yet I can only assume and surmise from you being here tonight that she failed. And that's what it's about. Every attempt that they make to destroy one of us, we must be fortified enough to ensure that they fail. And all of us who have children or have access to children, we must make sure that we provide our children with a clear definition of who they are, provide them with the accurate knowledge of who they are, and make sure they have a holistic education so they are fortified when they do come up against these Europeans and these Asians, because these Asians are in our schools and they are taking on the mentality of these Europeans, seeking to destroy our children. Our children must be fortified. And one of the best ways to fortify yourself is to have a strong working knowledge of your history and your culture. To have a strong working knowledge of your history and your culture, to have a strong sense of self. If you have that, then no one can do anything to you. If you have that, whatever they say won't mean anything to you. You will be strong. And that's what we need. And that's why it's very important that we do not give energy to the pessimistic narratives about what we can't do. Because those narratives have been running for a very long time. Those narratives are wrong. Those narratives are wrong. Yes, we got some work to do. And no one is not saying we don't have any work to do. We got a whole lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? We're jacked up in a lot of areas. I'm clear about that. But I would never talk about what we can't do. I would never utter my mouth to say what we can't do or what we won't do or what black people won't do. We're going to do all right. And we are doing all right. You know why? Because there are many, many, many of us who are not a part of the circle of those who are not doing the right thing. We just have to be willing to talk more about those who are doing what's right. That's our emphasis got to be focused on those who are doing what's right. Those who are standing on the front line for our people. Those who are putting out there a strong, positive black message that's putting us forward. Those who are leading by way of example. Those who are actually building things for us as a people. That's showing that things can be done. We have to raise those people up. We have to talk about them more. And don't get so caught up in talking about what we can't do. And don't get so caught up in all this celebrity hype, man, and all that, the celebrity drama, those distractions. Let's talk about the beauty of what it means to be black, the power of black. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about great black men and women of the 1800s. That's what we should be talking about. The same way we can run down and in one conversation we can run down different actors that we like, different athletes that we like. different rappers that we like, R&B singers that we like, or gospel singers that we like. We should have a list of Black intellectuals that we like, Black scientists that we like. We should be able to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We should have the same type of conversations that we have about people who don't really care about us. We should be having those same conversations about people who we know who did care about us. You know? Now, Frederick Douglass, you know, and Martin Delany didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But we know Frederick Douglass did mean well in his own way. Frederick Douglass was out there trying to do something for Black people. You know? We may not necessarily agree with his position, but he was trying to do something. We may not agree with Martin Luther King's position. We know Martin and Malcolm had some differences on some points. But Martin, at the end of the day, Martin was trying to do some things. Dr. Martin Luther King believed, man, that he was doing what was right for Black people. He was making an effort. And he stood in the face of evil. So those are the conversations we need to have. And we don't need to have those conversations from a position where as though we're arguing and bickering with one another. They should just be, you know what I'm saying, philosophical conversations, looking at the perspectives and seeing what we can take from Dr. King and what we can take from Malcolm X that can be used today. One of the things that I know that can be used today that Dr. King done, and I know firsthand it can be used, is the boycott. The boycott is effective, but it requires a type of consciousness to pull the boycott off, because the boycott requires us to work together. And we work together better when we have a certain type of consciousness, a mindset. And yes, we do not have unified consciousness on a lot of levels today. So that's why it's hard for us to pull off the boycotts that we need. But if you do the groundwork well and begin to organize in a specific area and build and develop that consciousness, then you can strategically target a predatory business and shut it down. If you're willing to do the groundwork and organize and mobilize and agitate in a specific area over a period of time to develop consciousness, then you can get the people ready to move strategically against a predatory business and shut it down. And you will see how effective the boycott is. The boycott is effective. The boycott can work, but there's stages to the boycott and there's elements that go into it. Oftentimes we think we just say, well, let's boycott something. We think it's going to move like that. It doesn't move like that, right? The boycott worked back then because they was on the ground so much, building and developing consciousness amongst the people around issues that impacted the people. So it's easy to pull a boycott off, right? And King and them wasn't the only ones who done it. But I'm saying King because that's what I was talking about. Most of the Black ground organizations back then were able to pull off boycotts. And even into the degree where as though you have don't buy where you don't work campaign, right? That was effective for them. You know, even though they was just trying to be hired by these places. Granted, today we might think differently, but back then that's what they was trying to do. They wanted jobs, so they wanted to be hired in these department stores or businesses. So one of the things they did to force them to hire them is we're not gonna give you our dollar. And that was effective. It was effective in the sense that it allowed them to achieve their objective. Even though some of us might say, well, I don't agree with that objective. It's not about whether or not you agree with the objective. I'm saying look at the method. And I'm saying that the method achieved what it set out to do. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And that's what this is all about. And we can do all of that today, Black man and Black woman, if we are willing to do what? Develop consciousness. But a lot of us don't want to develop consciousness. We want to remain behind closed doors. We want to remain behind computers. And all we want to do is talk about what Black people are not doing. We don't want to go out there. You know, some of us don't have any experience at working with people and organizing, seeing how hard it is. We don't have any experience at that. All we do is theorize from behind a computer, you know, and critique. Man, it is extremely hard to organize people who have been turned against themselves. That's not easy to do. How do I know this? Because I've been doing this, organizing on the ground with people. Firsthand, rubbing hands with people, you know, people turning against you, people, you know, you organizing communal funds and people taking the money and running off. And you have to be able to deal with that person who ran off. and then still keep the other group of people. You got to keep them strong to keep them from pulling out. Right? That's not easy to do. But I've been through all of that. So I know what we can do, but you got to get on the ground and organize people, man. You got to do that. Got to get on the ground and organize people. It's very important. I'm a financial advisor, white dominated space. They say if you make it 5 years, you have a chance. I am going on my 5th year. I get recruited by top firms all the time. Great job, financial advisors. You know what I'm saying? I need to be talking to you then, because all of us need some advising on some finances. You know, so most definitely we need your knowledge to put us forward. But no, real talk though, you know, all the skills and the resource that we got as a community, one of the things I want to do, I want to start organizing us around those skill sets to see how we can build some things and put some things in effect to move this thing forward, to get this ball pushing. You know, that's what this is about. Let me see what I said, what I missed. I know I missed some of y'all comments because I've been going, but I want to try to address all your comments because I like the energy because y'all got me going. We are the most powerful people on earth, but we buy into manipulation. Yes, we do. We buy into manipulation, but we're going to leave our faults off, right? We're going to keep our, we want to leave the faults off. We know the faults too well, right? We know our faults too well. I want us to focus on highlighting and affirming our strengths. You know, we're going to leave the faults off and stay on us, but I do agree with the statement, you know, but I want us to focus on our positivity, affirm the beauty, the strength, and the power of being Black. We must keep a victorious mindset. Yes, yes, yes. Skilled Black people are coveted. Yes, they are. You on it. You on it. Yes, elevate. No doubt. Speaking of Watoto, you see all on the internet from this past European holiday, all our children are getting is just toys, no books. No doubt. Change the narrative. Change the narrative. Change the narrative. That's an observation that you made, so change the narrative. That's how we're going to do this, Black man and Black woman. Not turn a true, good point, elevate. That's what it's about. True, no doubt. We got to stay true to who we are. Okay, yeah, I just hit this one right here. We got Black Fist at correction, no doubt. Knowledge is power, Angie. See, you on it, Angie. The Black church, not all of them, have removed itself from truly empowering its community. With that said, the community must build itself. Yes, yes, yes. Not all of them, but some have. I do agree with that statement. That's why we got to do this. We got to do this, Black man and Black woman. And we can. We can do this. Because all of you who are here tonight, this is my challenge to you. Show up next Thursday. I'm here every Thursday at 9 o'clock. I'm here every Thursday at 9 o'clock. So this is what you can do. Something very simple. You come back next Thursday at 9 o'clock and bring one person with you. Because tonight, 28 of you showed up so far. Right? So if all 28 of you come back next week and you bring one person with you, that's what, 56? And we're going to do that from week to week to week to week to week to week to week until we grow the movement. Because all of you got nothing but correct and accurate assessments. So clearly you got the knowledge and the information and you got the solutions just like I do. So we all should be working together. So let's build our ranks up, work together, and let's get this thing on and popping and rocking. That's what I say. It's not complicated. It don't take a genius to figure this thing out. It's very simple. We are all in here saying what the solutions are. So let's implement the solutions. Let's not just keep on acknowledging them to sound intellectual. You know, our knowledge is only as good. Now listen, our knowledge is only as good to the degree that it can be implemented and effect change. If it can't do that, then it's no good. I mean, yeah, avoid private equity when you have a good business model. They are leeches. Yes, you got it. You know, you want it, you want it, you want it. This is a good speaker, Bubba. Thank you. I appreciate that. I strive to do right by us because that's what this is about. The School of Urban Philosophy is about where we always straight up, straightforward, and straight to the point. I don't know no other way to do this thing. Because I was in the streets once upon a time in the 80s. I was in those streets, and I gave those streets 100%. When I was doing wrong, they got 100%. I wasn't half-stepping. I wasn't faking. I wasn't phoning. I wasn't indisciplined. I was on my A game when I was in those streets doing wrong. So when I decided to say, you know what, I'm going to soldier for Black people, you're going to get 100% from me every single time. I don't care if it was just me on this joint by myself tonight. I'm going to give 100%. That's all I know how to do for Black people, is to give 100%. What will be effective for us today? Great question. Great question. Couldn't boycott Gucci, Starbucks, or the NFL successfully. But that's the point, though, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. Because you can't, and so, like, the point I'm trying to make is that the work that we're trying to do, it's not work you can do off of impulse. The boycotts work when you organize toward the boycott. The boycott doesn't work off of impulse. It doesn't work because somebody get mad and say, hey, man, let's boycott this right here. It doesn't work that way, right? You're not in the struggle together. You're not rubbing arms together. You're not missing meals together. You're not doing nothing together. Like, you're not building no type of solidarity. And if you want people to struggle with us, it doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way in human history, right? This work requires us actually doing work. A lot of us don't want to do work. We want to just call out when things don't work, then highlight why it didn't work. No, you got to get the work done. We will never be able to pull off those boycotts at that degree until we build a mass movement, because those are mass entities. Those entities already have mass followings. So you don't take a six-man army and run up against a 6 million man army and think you're going to win. It's not going to work, but that 6-man army over time can strategize and build itself up and build up the capacity to potentially go up against it. But if you're not thinking like that, if you're not using tactics and strategies to build yourself out, then yeah, you're going to run up against something larger than you and get knocked down and kill the morale of your people. To win wars, you got to build the morale of the people. You got to put them in positions to win some battles. Simple as that. You have to put your army in positions to win some battles, to build up their morale so they can continue fighting. If you keep putting your army in positions to lose battles, you kill their morale and they're no good. So clearly, the people who called that were not generals. They weren't generals. They didn't understand the basics of warfare. I second that motion. Where we at? Hotel, man, where you been at, man? I've been missing you, my brother. Been missing you, Black meaning Africa, Black. Hotep. We've been having a pretty fruitful dialogue thus far, my brother. Pretty fruitful, But I appreciate you as always for signing in. I subscribe to your channel. Thanks for facilitating great dialogue. I'm glad you subscribed. Hopefully I see you again next Thursday. Every Thursday at 9 p.m. we are here at the School of Urban Philosophy. We are in session. Bring anybody you want to bring them here so we can be a part of this, so we can continue to build together and build this online community that we can translate into a real community, into society, and get some sustainable things done for our people. That's what this is about. I am blessed to be early retired from the belly of the beast. Jails, prisons are beyond the imagination of humanity. I was a great officer and shared knowledge with many. Man, you was an officer in the joint, man. But I'm glad you got out, man. I'm glad you got out, man. I was a captive in them joints, man. They held me captive for 13 years and 9 months. But all they did to me, man, it made me really, really, really angry. And that's why I do what I do today. But I'm glad you have liberated yourself. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the vulnerability and the courage to just let us know that you once was there. I appreciate that as well. That's growth. I love it. I applied your response, brother. Great. Appreciate that, Nat. I appreciate your response, brother. Appreciate that. That's how we're doing this thing. Officers are captives too. Yes, officers are captives too. I've seen it. I've seen many new officers come in the institution, and they come in that joint as if they, still have a sense of humanity, and before you know it, they monsters and beasts. Yes, so they most definitely are the same thing. Working on social, political, economic programs to share for collective cooperative organizing. It will require people to learn some ideology they are not used to, but proven most effective globally. Yes. Ideology is key. And I was just speaking about that probably about 20 minutes back. I think I did mention ideology to a degree, but I agree with you. So people got to be willing to relearn some things. It's going to require some studying, it's going to require some work. So I do get it, yeah, we got work to do, and we need everybody on deck to the best of our ability, doing what we know how to do best, and then figuring out ways to pour these skills, talents, and capabilities together in some type of organized fashion where it can push all us forward. So I agree. Appreciate that. And that's like I was saying earlier, black man and black woman, let's be here, man. Let's be in community, and let's be about the business of getting to the problem solving. Let's get problem solving, because one of the things that capitalism does, and I often like to argue capitalism like this. I tell people a lot of times that capitalism is not only an economic system. It's known to be an economic system. It's promoted as an economic system, but it's not just an economic system. Capitalism is also an ideology in and of itself. It conditions people to think and behave a specific way. And oftentimes, the way that it conditions you to think and behave is in ways that are not beneficial to you and your group, right? It conditions you to see people as things and commodities, to be ran over, to be discarded, to be mistreated. Capitalism does that. You go into business and you're trying to be in business in this environment, and if you don't have any type of history of other economic systems, you tend to take on their mentality and how you run your business, and before you know it, you are perpetuating the same system that you said you was trying to escape from. So capitalism is a tricky thing, man. It's a tricky thing, and that's why it's very important, black people, that we engage in study circles, study groups. It's very important, not for any of us to feel like we have arrived. Don't think that you have arrived. We must be willing to always put our minds in a process with more advanced minds that can bring us up, right? We must be willing to study with more advanced minds so we can be elevated. We elevate that when we sharpen ourselves better, when we are allowing ourselves to be engaged with competent thinking people. So we got to be a part of study circles and study groups. Here at PLM, we have what we call the per arc learning space. We kind of transition in terms of the name. Once upon a time, we had a study class, and we would say study class, but we no longer say study class. Every now and then, it might slip up because we said study class for so long. But we're really moving towards the per arc learning space, developing a space specifically designed to facilitate, encourage, and cultivate learning, in-depth, deep learning. That's what this is about, because the deeper we are in our learning, the clearer we are about what we see in this particular society. And as we become clearer, our actions become more definitive in terms of what we should do and what we can do. But when we're moving from a place of being unclear, we make a bunch of unnecessary mistakes. Unnecessary mistakes. Unity is key in community. Can't lose faith in us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Capitalism has affected the relationship with the black man. Oh, yes. Yes. Correction officer for Blockdown. Capitalism has severely impacted the relationship between the black man and the black woman, the dynamic between the black man and the black woman, the black family, the black community, the black race. Capitalism, yes, correct. As a byproduct of the European worldview. Yes, capitalism is of the European worldview. You're correct with that. Beautiful. Joy, good point with the mention of worldview. Yes, we on it tonight. School of instruction. Yes, we're on it tonight. Urban School of Instruction. School of Urban Philosophy. If you're referring to the channel, with School of Urban Philosophy. From my experience, the greatest challenge we have today is understanding political economy, mostly because we won't study the Europeans who have. We do not have Black political economic theories today. Great point. That is a great point. You're one of them. So, but I get your point. You're one of them. So, and I know you're not here for accolades, my brother. I'm clear about all of that. But I want to still highlight you and say that's what you are. You understand it. And because you understand it, you want to put it out there. You can help another person understand. And that's all it requires. That's all it requires. But I like the point, though. The point is on point. You hear what I just said? I said the point is on point. I didn't intend to mean it that way, but it came out that way. We need to get away from white people and we need to fight for each other and stop selling out. Lloyd Lindsay, yes, we need to get away from them, huh? Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to take some time, but you're correct. You're correct on all points. I do agree. But in the meantime, we got to deal with the meantime. In the meantime, what do? We find a way to close our ranks with each other. We find a way to build with those that's on the same page that we're on, that's thinking like we're thinking. We find a way to connect with everybody that's in this chat tonight. Because all of you came in tonight, you got a lot of information, you on point. So we need to be connecting. We need to be connecting, all of us. I'm gonna put my email in this chat, and I want to email me so we can keep this dialogue going. What is the email? Okay, BAL. PLinBaltimore@gmail.com. That's the website. That's the email. Take the email down. Send me an email. Let me know who you are so I can remember you from the chat. We can keep the dialogue going. I'm going to put our website in here. That's my organization's website. Check us out. Check the website out. Check the website out so you can see exactly who I am, what I represent, what we stand for, what are we attempting to do, what we have done is there. That's the information is there. But if you're serious and you want to do serious work based on the comments that I received tonight, then connect with me. That's an open invitation for you to connect. Some of you, we already are connected. You know who you are. But those of you who are just finding me tonight, let's connect. Let's keep it going. Let's build. In the meantime, in time of anger is therapeutic if used properly, but can be dangerous and must not be abused. I agree. Anger is a catharsis. That's exactly what it is. So you're correct with that 1,000%. And oppressed people should never strive to extinguish their anger. They should never strive to extinguish their anger. And oppressed people, at every step of the way, should strive to reserve and refine their anger, to bring their anger under a degree of regulation so they can use it when they choose to use it, because that anger is necessary. So I do agree. On February 4th, we will be at the Capitol of Albany, New York, to protest against racist killings of Black American people. That's what's up. That's what's up, my brother. We got to get it done. We organize, put it out there, take a stance, and we keep it moving. That's the work. That is the work we got to do. We got to do the work. And we got to do the work, without making any excuses. We'd have to go at it real hard, So we're coming up on our last 5 minutes. The show is an hour, or the session rather is an hour from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I believe we had a great session tonight, but I want to know what you think. So before we get out of here, put your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you thought or felt about our session tonight. Do you think we had a great, fruitful session? So let me know something. Give me some more energy and some more feedback. Many of you may know that I have a new book about to drop. Scientific Pan-Africanism. That book should be coming sometime this month, January. I have been taking pre-orders for the book. And this particular book is about Pan-Africanism, but from a different perspective. It's not a book that's attempting to write a history of Pan-Africanism. It's a book that's seeking to present and provide an elaboration and a clarification of Pan-Africanism. So it's a book designed to help someone come into a clear understanding of what Pan-Africanism is. And if the person already believed that he or she has an understanding, the book will help to enhance his or her understanding. It's one of those books that you cannot go wrong by reading it. It's one of those books that if you read it, it's only 160 pages long. And if you read it, you will walk out on the other side of that book with a deeper and a clearer awareness of Pan-Africanism. Let me plug this computer up before it runs out on us. There we go. Okay, we back? Yeah, we back. So I apologize for that. My computer wasn't plugged up and was about to turn off, and I didn't want it to cut off on us in that, the last minutes. But yeah, so the book is a great book, Scientific Pan-Africanism. It will be available for actual purpose this month. However, if you want to be on that early shipment and you want to make that pre-order, reach out to me and we can get that going. So let's see what we got here. And I'm trying to get us to boycott sports. We need to put a stop to this killing you Black American people. Yes. Awesome. The spirit of the ancestors definitely is present. Thank you. Always great, my brother. What are the do's and don'ts to Pan-Africanism? What are the do's and don'ts to Pan-Africanism? I would tell you get the book. I'm going to say purchase my book and you will get the do's and don'ts, because there's a whole lot that I can say, but there's only 2 minutes left and I don't want to get into it. Try to get into it with those 2 minutes, but purchase Scientific Pan-Africanism and I can guarantee you and I'll show you that you will walk away more clear. And if you don't walk away clearer, I'll kindly refund you. Excited about the book drop? Yes, Zenzi. Righteous Rage, yes. Please connect with Jacob Carruthers Center in Chicago at the Carruthers Centers for Inner City Studies. Yes, I'm familiar with the Chicago Carruthers Centers. I've been there several times, although I'm not based out of Chicago, but I've been there. Me and Mama Ife Carruthers, we good. So yes, I appreciate that plug anyway. Okay, I'm laughing out loud. Yes, get the book. You're going to love the book. You're going to love the book. Once you get into the book and you get to reading it, you're not going to put it down. If you're a reader and you read to really develop and broaden yourself, you're not going to put this book down when you pick this book up. I guarantee you that. I stand by that. This is one of those books that I've been working on, and I pour everything into this book. And I didn't grab anything haphazardly. I didn't grab anything that's not from a place of being substantiated. And once you get into it, you will see that. But it's real clear, it's definitive about what Pan-Africanism is and what it isn't. Very clear about that. Very clear about that. So we are now at our 10 o'clock mark, and it's time for us to transition out. I try not to keep us here beyond 10 o'clock. I only want to work with that 1 hour. Okay, I'll try to do that. I'm gonna do that. Let me try to pull it up real quick, my brother. Hold on 1 second. Give me about 2 minutes to pull it up. I didn't come prepared to do that, but I can pull it up in about 2 minutes. So I made lofty claims. So wow, I never heard it put that way. But I was not able to get to the link in time, and I didn't want to keep trying to find it, But I put the email up. You can reach me through the email and reach out to me through that email, and I can get the link to you through there. But no, they're not lofty claims. I only make things that are very definitive. So anyone that read the book will see that what I said will hold true. I'm going to look forward to the email, so please do email me. Having said that, it is 10:02. As always, I want to thank all of you who have joined in tonight. Thank all of you who have engaged the conversation. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you again next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another session here at the School of Urban Philosophy, where we are always straight up, straight forward, and straight to the point. Be before Hodier and race first.